This phone is an extension of my life. Without it, I am nothing.
Especially being a teacher, I use technology every hour of every day. I use a smartboard, I have my calendar on my phone, I have a computer that I use to put in grades.
Well, having my smartphone now, which I didn't get until recently, has made it easier because I have a GPS on there, so I don't get lost anymore. And if I get somewhere early and I have time to kill, I can check my Facebook. But it's nice to have the cell phone around too, just in case my car breaks down or something like that. So, yeah.
It helps me stay in communication with everybody in my life, which I love, especially my daughters. I know when I was in college, I never communicated with my mom. It's like only on the phone once in a while, and now I can text and email with my daughters all the time. So it's great.
Probably my cell phone. On my cell phone, I have internet that I will use for like GPS. I obviously use it to call people. I have my calendar on my cell phone that I import all of my meetings and things for school. I also use it for games and stuff like that sometimes.
Probably my laptop, just because that's where I do all my work at school and that's where I do anything at home.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I got an iPhone. It has become the most important thing in my life. I can do everything through it.
But for me, with things like Facebook, I don't really do Twitter or any of that, but with Facebook, it's been really nice because I can connect with people from my high school that that graduated 7 years ago, that I would never have seen or kept in contact with. There'd be no way of knowing where they were and connecting with them.
Facebook makes it really easy for me to check up on people and not have to actually talk to them. So I guess I'd have to keep better in-person relationships with people that I have friends with on Facebook.
It has made just communication with everybody so much easier. But I think because of where the world has come, it has become very essential.
I used to use a dictionary. That's how I grew up, learning how to use a dictionary, but yeah, I use my computer.
Computer. Absolutely. I Google and or dictionary.com it.
Computer.
It's home from work.
During the Industrial Revolution, farming and agriculture were set aside for the new factory cities and technology. Many new inventions were coming out during the Industrial Revolution. This time period is packed with agricultural innovations along with technological advancements. Some important creations were the steam engine, the telegraph, photography developments, modern light bulbs, and plastic. The steam engine was an accomplishment at the time. It was extremely simple for our modern engine standards. It uses coal to heat the water, which vaporizes into steam and is pushed through the engine. This technology was used to create the machines for new industries and to power the steamboats and trains. Communications became a lot easier because of the telegraph. The user would type out a message in Morse code, which the receiver would interpret. This process was very quick once the message was typed out. Photography was also improving. The camera obscura was invented, but it could take up to 8 hours for the photograph to develop. The speed was improved, but it couldn't be replicated, so a man named William Talbot invented a developing technique that created a negative of the photograph by which many copies could be made. So many inventions of the Industrial Revolution have affected the way we live today, and without them we would not have many of the common technology we do today.
The 20s were an age of celebration. The war was over and times were good. Although electricity limited the number of products you could own, Hollywood boomed. Movies now had sound and color, which drew more and more people to the theaters. Radios and cars were the inventions of the time. The average citizen could have a radio in their home, connecting them with the rest of the country. By 1927, Ford had produced and sold near 15 million Model Ts. The factories in which these cars were manufactured were major polluters. Smokestack emissions were a major concern. Along with the changes in technology came changes in the life of the average family. Women joined the workforce, leaving the homes. This was controversial, of course. As a source said, consumerism was the mindset of many Americans, and this affected the environment. The process of manufacturing cars was the biggest contributor to pollution. Many materials such as metal and rubber were needed to produce a car. Once produced, oil and gas are needed to keep it running. In the 20s, some saw the car as the cause of urban problems, while others thought it was an important new invention. The 20s were a decade of change. Some saw that as a problem and were opposed. Others were ready and excited.
Greenhouse gases are the gases from pollution and extra carbon dioxide that are in the air and pollute the ozone layers. Many chemical compounds found in the Earth's atmosphere are known as greenhouse gases. These gases allow sunlight to enter the atmosphere freely. When the sunlight hits the Earth's surface, some of its light reflects back towards space as heat. Greenhouse gases absorb heat and trap it in the atmosphere. Over time, the amount of energy sent from the sun to the Earth's surface should be about the same as the amount of energy radiated back into space, leaving the temperature of the Earth's surface roughly constant. Without technology being invented, our lives would be totally different. We wouldn't have internet, we wouldn't have iPods, iPhones, iPads, etc. Without internet, a lot of things we do nowadays would not have been invented. Some schools have smart boards, which are whiteboards, but your computer is hooked up to it and it displays whatever you want on it. That is an example of how society uses technology today. Now think about what it will be like in the future. Will it just be like how the makers of WALL-E, the movie, foreshadowed? Will life be all about technology and no one will ever care about the Earth's nature again? Or will people change and use technology less? It's your choice.
Okay, all joking aside, bottom line, they call these things smartphones because they're so smart they make all of us stupid. In that case, they should be called hard-working phones too because of how lazy they make us. Too dumb to figure out how much to tip at a restaurant? Don't worry, there's an app for that. Too lazy to ask for directions when you're lost? Don't worry, there's an app for that. Too dumb to go out and make real friends? Don't worry, there's a Siri for that. Siri, do I have any new emails?
No new emails.
What about Facebook messages?
No.
New tweets?
No.
Siri, you're my only friend.
I love you too, Jordan.
We've gone from reading books for information, to searching the internet for information, to now finally just being told information. It's like we want Pixar's WALL-E to come true. Just imagine if we were all one day disconnected from our smartphones. Could we survive as a people? Would our waiters and waitresses be doomed to 2% tips? Would we all be stuck on an interstate somewhere, not sure what exit to get off on? Would our precious Siri be okay without us? Siri, you playing games with me again like you do that time? Stop it! Wake up, Siri! Siri, please! Please come back! Come back home! Come back to your house! I need you to be in this spot!
Recording.
So, consumerism's gotten pretty bad, huh? Consumerism's gotten very bad. We keep going for the bigger and better, forgetting how much we already have.
And we've lost touch with the world around us. Think about it. I mean, we're punching a giant hole in the ozone layer, but it's not important because we're playing Angry Birds.
Hey, I like Angry Birds.
Yeah, everyone does. That doesn't mean we get closer to a family when we play it.
Why you? Oh, I guess you're right.
Of course I'm right.
What can we do about the issue of overuse of electronics?
There's only one way to stop overusing electronics.
It involves a hammer.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
We can't ask people to stop using technology altogether. It's because it's become so ingrained in our culture at this point that trying to get rid of it would be unreasonable.
What can we do to what we can do is take a break.
You don't need your cell phone 24/7.
Why not turn it off for a minute while you're eating dinner?
Or when you're at school.
Even just unplugging a charger when you're not using it can save energy.
Then there's your family. You can actually talk to them instead of sending a text.
Yeah. You should try it.
Or maybe play a board game with them instead of spending all day messing around on Scribble knots.
Hey, I happen to like that one too.
Oh, you are. It doesn't matter. It's a waste of time.
Well, you're asking for it now.
Oh, bring it, little man.
Don't little man me.
1 second, please. Remember, technology isn't everything. Try to actually go and live life once in a while. All we have to do is set it aside. All right, let's go, you tech over.
Father, I will avenge you.
What the?
It's from Infinity Blade.
Why, you little...
I'm not little!
When hope was high and life worth living, I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then
Winter has come back again, feels like the season won't end. My faith is tired tonight, and I won't try to pretend I've got it all figured out, that I don't have any doubts. I've got a busted heart, I need you
Snooki. Without a doubt. Possibly the Kardashians. But I couldn't choose which Kardashian. So maybe it's not them all. Perhaps? Yeah.
Like translate.
Is it true?
That's what I chose to.
Kardashians? That sounds correct.
Totally Kim Kardashian.